I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I'm just dancing.
Right.
Right. I'm just dancing.
Ain't trying to hurt nobody.
And that whole movement has been deleted. So that whole movement, Dana Dane, Queen T, Salt and Pepper, Kid and Play, Kwame, right? These dudes had a very large effect on the culture, but they're not given enough accolades for it. They don't have them on Hip Hop Honors. When they do the old school hip hop thing, they don't play their records.
Gloss over them, yeah.
You feel me? So they go into
Chub rocking them.
they go to Chub rocking them, and then they skip right into the whole Tupac B.I.G. era. And you'd be like, but what happened to them dudes? Because them dudes was on fire. Like I said, they had a cereal, they had a cartoon. Right? Waking up Saturday morning, and these niggas on television. Holy shit.
Wasn't that some shit?
You understand?
Yeah, some
These
shit.
niggas, the only person that had a cartoon before them was Mr. T.
Right. That is a crazy motherfucker.
Right. That was the other black icon they put on television for us. And now here it is, you Kid and Play, and them niggas ain't doing no fuck shit. So we have to be careful of what the narrative that they rolled out for us. And so this is all important because all of this stuff is in concert with that. Iconography, the colors, these colors mean something, right? This is Oba. Oba is the Orisha of not just marriage. Again, we get these sound bites. You go on the internet, they're gonna tell you some shit, and somebody, whoever wrote it, got sound bites out of little books, and then decided it's gonna put this blog together. And so they tell you, oh, Oba's the Orisha of marriage, and this, that, and the third. More importantly, she's the Orisha of literature. She is accredited with bringing writing to the world. So the Orisha that is her mother is the Orisha that brought forth rice cultivation. Okay, rice changed the world. It was the grain that changed the world. Now, her being the daughter of this deity, she is said to have lived in the house of Ogun, and Ogun is about technology and mechanics. And so she implored Ogun to create a scale for her. All right? And she used the scale to weigh the rice. And when she weighed it, they had to have a way to record it. And so this is where records came in. Writing was originally started for capitalistic reasons, to keep record of how much you had. Right?
I think I even read that in teaching going over my son's homework.
Okay. It was
going
made
back to historical
thing. It was made to keep, because grain you weigh grain, and you keep it. You have to have the measurement for it. So she invented measurement and record taking. So she invented literature. Esoterically, she has a quill, a plume quill, right? And so the whole conversation about Maya and all of that stuff, she's the one that digs the hole for your body to be accepted into. And when they bring the body, it said that she writes down everything that you did in this life. And when she's finished, they're going to weigh that feather that wrote your life against your heart. Okay?
Right.
And now, this is going to allow you to receive your skin in the other world, so that your loved ones can recognize you when you as a spirit accompany them. Right? Okay. Now, this record taking has a lot to do with marriage, because marriage is a financial institution. This is why people pay dowries. Right? And so marriage is specifically associated with commerce. So I have a daughter. I can't make children with her, but she's an extra mouth to feed. So I take my grain and a couple cows, and I go see you. Hey, listen, bro, I got this girl. I don't know if she's gonna make no babies, because I can't try out. But she know how to cook a steak and do all of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I pay you, because now she becomes your responsibility to care for. Now, in that, your reward is that she may give you children. And those children will help you out with your land. The more children you got, the more land that you can tend to. So in our traditions, we say, Ireo mo. Blessings of children first. Ireo mo, Ireo wo, Ireariku babawa. So it says, blessings of children, give me blessings of money, and blessings of money give me a guarantee of long life. Because if you ain't got no money, when you get sick, your ass is crap.
That's it.
You ain't got no children, ain't nobody to take care of you. You sick in the house, there's nobody to harvest the fucking
That's why I tell
corn.
my daughter, like, go get me a glass of water. Like, that's why I hacked you.
No, real shit.
Fuck, I need a glass of water. Go to
Real
the
shit,
store and
somebody-
get my shit. Cause that's what my mother told me, nigga.
No, but you did it for her when she was a baby.
Absolutely.
She wanted some milk, you needed Pampers, you got up and went out to go get it. Now
Absolutely.
this is reciprocation. Take care of me now.
Don't be arguing with me about that shit. Go get what I tell you to get.
Right. And so
Should have had a couple more. You motherfucker.
no, but that and that's why people when they had a lot of children, these are farmers.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have these big families and you put them in cities, it's counterproductive. They have nothing to do. This is how they get caught up in vice.
Right, because nothing else to do. Nothing, no farm, no tilling the land, none of that shit.
Right.
I'm sitting on the corner.
And so this is why they had us. They forced us into the cities to diminish the size of our families. Because you're in an apartment, you can't have all these folks in your apartment. What the fuck are they doing? Right? And so when you have the land, you got somebody to cultivate the land. You got shit to do.
Right.
Listen, boys. Y'all can play that music later, but we gotta take this corn off these husks.
Absolutely.
Okay? And they finish. You understand? When you finish, then we celebrate. Okay. And so, iconographically, the pink in her represents her vagina, and that it is very important. This is the prize, is that you get that, right, in this exchange for marriage, so that you can have children, right? And so, the numbers, her number is 9, and that is a number that is associated with the dead, right? Because 9 is the end of a cycle. Right, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 is a new cycle, right? And so 9 is the beginning of the end of the closing of that circle, which will now start again with the new 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1, 9. Another cycle, right? So 9 is associated with the dead because it's the end of things. So the formula is that there's these numbers trap her in this vessel, so that I can always find her. Right? So that I don't have to. No, she's right here. Right? Okay. So she has these other implements. So I told you she's the one who necessarily digs the grave. The story is that Shango was married to her through marriage. It was an arranged marriage, and Shango wasn't really hip. He wasn't in love with her, and so he married her in order to unify. It was a merger of kingdoms. And he married her, but he wasn't in love with her. But she was the perfect woman. She was the perfect specimen of a wife. She represents a hearth. Now, a hearth is a fireplace. That is the kitchen, right? This is the center of all homes, right? So in primitive times, when you had a fireplace, a hearth, you cook your food there, right?
It provides you warmth.
Right? You wash your clothes there, and you romance there, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
To this day.
To this day, right? So now the other part of her, the hearth, also represents a woman's vagina. It's warm. Wood has to be put into it to keep it going, right? It was very important for primitive people because that this
brothers say they lay in the wood.
Yeah, that shit is real.
Wow.
These are intrinsic understanding.
Even without us knowing.
Right. So what happens is, so now when they say when she was in the house of Ogun, she represented his furnace. Right? And in the furnace, he sticks his rod in there for it to get hot. When he takes it out, he bangs his rod into something productive on the anvil, which is a female phallic symbol. It represents a woman's pelvic area. And so he bangs on that to produce something that is productive. Okay. So she has, it's a triple entendre. So she's the furnace, she's the anvil, and then the hearth where the food is cooked. So she was the perfect domestic. So Shango was forced to marry her, but he wasn't in love with her. And as the chief wife, she was unsure about herself. She wasn't confident because there were other concubines. He had Oya, he had Oshun, and he was known to convort with them more than her. And so she began to get on his nerves that he's told her, listen, I'm going to give you the market, because she was good with record keeping. Right? So he gave her the market, but she still was uncontent. So she asked her sister, her co-wife, why is it that he comes to your room every night? And now she's also supposed to be the deity of strategy. But this is the paradox of it. She's the deity of strategy, but she asked her competitor for a way to win. So Yah says to her, well, you know, when I cook for him, I take a little piece of my ear and I put it in his soup. So every time I speak, he hears me. Now, the mystery is that, did she tell her knowing that she was going to be excessive? Or did she tell her out of pure, you know, like confiding in her? And so Obad decided that she would cut the whole ear off and put it in his soup, because she only wanted him to hear her.
And nobody else.
And so when he had company and they opened up the food and there was an ear in there, he was embarrassed. Well, who put their ear in there? And all the women had pulled their head ties above their ears.
So he didn't know.
So he told them, remove your head ties. And they all removed their geles, and she was missing an ear. And so he told her, you can't stay here, because one, you trying to poison me? He says, are you trying to embarrass me? And as well as the fact that you've mutilated yourself now, and now you are no longer perfect.
Perfect.
And so I'm the king, and I cannot have imperfection in my court, so you must go. And so he cursed her out of his kingdom, right? And so eventually they say that she found her way in the cemetery, only after he met his demise. Because she was the strategist. Her job was to care for him, and she failed at that. And so now she goes to the cemetery and she keeps the grass low, and she watches over his tomb, lamenting over her mistakes. And so she represents the regrets of women, right? That man that you didn't treat right, he got away. And so they give her certain things. They give her a jewelry box. They say broken jewelry goes in there for broken promises. So that she's the deity that will hold on to your sorrow so that you don't have to carry it. Okay. So now you see that something as simple as, oh, she's the deity of marriage. That's a soundbite.
Right. That's not the full in-depth aspect of the story.
Right. Now, as a feminine deity, what she did is, in the house of Ogun, who was the blacksmith, she feminized everything that was masculine. So whereas Ogun was known to make swords and tools and weapons, she made jewelry. Jewelry for women to adorn themselves, because they are at war when they are trying to attract a man.
True.
Right?
Right.
Whereas Ogun put war paint on his face to go to war, she turned it into makeup for women to adorn themselves. Right? Everything that he had that was masculine, she feminized. Right? And so she talks about that. And so she's considered a tomboy, but the most pretty of tomboys. Right? So that here in America, a lot of people look at her, a lot of initiated priests have a misconception of her, so they would then put her in a very pretty porcelain pot. And when I went to Cuba, they said, nah, we don't put her in that. We put her in a regular clay pot. And I said, well, why? They said, because she mutilated herself and she's no longer pretty. Right? And so this is the effects of iconography. So they're saying that in contrast to Oshun, who was adorned and does all of these things, she's plain. Because she gave up that right. Because she did not understand what value she had in being who she was.
She already was.
Right? And so what happened was, after she was kicked out, she went to go see Oshun. Because Oshun was the other competitor. And so now, because Oya had tricked her, she decided that she would give all of her wealth to Oshun. So she taught Oshun how to be a domestic. She showed Oshun how to put makeup on. She adorned Oshun and gave Oshun the keys to her home. And so the key itself is a phallic symbol. Right?
Right.
The lock don't look for other locks, it looks for keys. And so the woman is the lock. She's the one holding the secret. The man is the key that opens it up. Right? And so she gave that to Oshun, and this was their pact. Right? So that Oshun would be adorned and pretty, and she would be regular. Right? This is iconography.
Right.
People that are initiated have missed these concepts because they are not privy to the understanding that this stuff is actually telling you a story. Right? Each thing that you put to the deity is not just to make it look pretty. It has a story. It has a meaning, so that when you reflect on it, it reminds you of that promise. It reminds you of that state of mind that you need to be in. Right? And so the iconography is very important. There are icons that are very very profound. One of them is Shango's O'Shea, right? And Shango's O'Shea is the representation that his power cuts both ways. So when he lifted it, because before that the sword was the symbol of authority, he changed it and said, no, my axe cuts both ways, in both directions, so that he became an emperor. Right? Because his reign was more than just in one place, it went in every direction. This is an icon, right? It shows his ability to fight and fight from both ends, right? So that you don't come behind me.
Yeah.
So my blade is stuck in here, and then you come and I pull it out and I hit you with this. So I'm protected. And so from both directions and from all spaces, I am always ready and always sharp, right? This is telling a story. It's not just it looks nice with that and we put it in this red and white because those are his colors. Even down to this lightning on this, right? On this side there's ideograms that mean something, right? So even the spots that you see, the spots represent the leopard, which is a very sacred icon to us. Now the leopard has its origins in the fact that the leopard and all other animals that live in the tree are sacred to us. Okay, we acknowledge the fact that there is a sun in the bowels of the earth. There's a radioactive sun that's emitting electromagnetic pulses, and it is in conflict with the sun outside of us that is emitting electromagnetic pulses. So we are being inundated from two different directions, right? And so as human beings, we lay down on the ground horizontally. And so we are affected by the electromagnetic pulses that emanate from the center of the earth. Okay. The leopard, the serpent, the snail, the monkey, the bird, they all live in a tree. So they receive their magnetic pulses from the sun above. They're not influenced by the earth. So they're not earthly beings. They are celestial beings. Because the leopard don't do nothing on the ground. He eats in the tree. He sleeps in the tree. He makes love in the tree, right? That's what makes him very special. So his spots are assimilated to the nighttime sky with all the stars in it, all different spots, right? The ability of multiple possibilities, right? And so there's nothing that they do that isn't symbolic. Now this leopard happens to traverse into different cultures. The Dogon worship the leopard. The Twa worship the leopard. The Congolese worship the leopard. Even to your monarchs in Europe, that robe that they wear has leopard fur on it. Right? So that means that they got their ritual authority from Africa. Because ain't no leopards in Europe.
Absolutely.
Right? What makes it more important is that there's a leopard in South America that's called a jaguar, who's the biggest of the big cats.
That's why I was getting ready to ask you about the jaguar. Absolutely.
Okay? So now this theme follows us, right? The other animals that are sacred, so now the bird, it's not so much the dove, it's actually what we call a guinea hen. You ever seen a guinea hen? It's an African hen. It has these feathers that look like this, right? And it's spotted, like the leopard. This is the bird that they say Obatala descended onto the earth with, right? Now, scientifically, they say that the guinea hen is a dinosaur. That the buzzard, the turkey, and the peacock are all variations of the guinea hen.
Of the guinea hen, okay.
Okay. So now when the scientists start talking about, now they start saying that they have to rethink about the dinosaurs, that they weren't lizards, they might have been birds. This is why the chicken is so very important to us. And it's sacrificed because there's none of the other animals are as old as that. The chicken is a variation of the dinosaur. that maintain themselves, that miniaturize themselves to survive.
Back to homogenize.
Exactly. Okay? So iconically, they understand the beginnings of certain things and to maintain them because they represent an ideal that is infinite. Right? So the serpent has spots on it. Right? The monkey has spots on it. The snail is different because the snail is actually the oldest because he's very prehistoric and his symbol is that of the Fibonacci spiral.
The Fibonacci joint, yeah.
Okay?
I was talking to you about Fibonacci.
Okay. So all of the things that live in the tree are exalted in this hierarchy of celestial animals because they live in the tree and so they are celestial and so we give them reverence, right? So all of the deities are described, all the orishas are described as leopards, right? When you talk about Kemet, they talk about Bes. Bes was wearing a leopard fur with feathers in his hair. You understand? All of this stuff comes from this. It comes from this. Like when I did that lecture Congo before Kemet, it was a little bit before its time. They didn't understand that. I be hearing the dudes now, they be trying to throw little, you know what I mean? But I was the one that was trying to explain it now. It starts in the Congo. And then so there's books that there's references books, there's Black Genesis. They talk about that, like, yo, they talk about different places that y'all talking about the dynasties, but what was before the dynasty? Something had to influence the dynasty, right? So in Noptoplaya, they got pictures of leopards and giraffes and all the stuff that is not native to the Sahara, right? So the first understanding they tried to tell you was, that the Sahara was lush with vegetation. That's not true. It's always been a desert. That's where Atlantis is. Atlantis is below the Sahara Desert. You heard what I said?
I heard. I'm listening.
They're looking for Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean. It's in the Sahara Desert. Below the Sahara Desert is an aquifer. They're aware of that. They're very aware that there's a giant aquifer that has not been touched in millions of years. Okay, so now the riddle of the Sphinx is that shit was built by an aquatic society. That shit wasn't built by the fucking Egyptian and Commission niggas. That shit was there before the sand was.
That shit was there before the sand.
What are you talking about?
Right.
So that the Yoruba said that when the deities Obatala and Oduduwa descended upon a golden chain, which they describe as a double helix, when they got to the end of it, the chain wasn't long enough. So Obatala went into his pouch and he pulled out the Igbin shell, the snail shell, and he poured out the sand from it. And that sand went down to the bottom of that ocean and created a great mound. That mound is what he calls okay. That's the Yoruba word for mountain. That's the English word that you and I use for when something is good. It's okay because it's firm. That's a Yoruba word. It's not an English word. So when you stand on something and it's firm, it's okay. So Obatala landed on okay. He was firm. And so he pulled out of his pouch a 5-toed guinea hen, and he placed it on the top of the mountain, and the guinea hen started to scratch out the different continents. Well, geologically, they tell you that the sand from the Sahara Desert is the sand that feeds all of the beaches of the world. That's scientific. The white boy done said that. That the sand, because beaches don't create sand. If you go to a real old beach, it's just Recife. It's just volcanic rock with holes in it, and then the ocean. Where the sand come from? It's coming from the Sahara Desert by way of trade winds. So they telling you what was going on, right? Geologically, before anybody else. Everybody else talking all this dumb shit. Them niggas are telling you how the earth was built. So what happened was they poured the sand on top of Olokun's kingdom, on top of Atlantis, which is Olokun. This is why Olokun is the owner of the sea and the owner of this world. So they poured the sand on top of it, and that's where you got this desert from. Okay, when they went back to that area, because these are people who revere trees, so they can't cut the trees down to make no pyramids in the middle of the fucking rainforest. So they had to go to where there was an open lot, a big empty canvas for them to start to build. So they were building. Okay, those pyramids are another representation of that mountain that Obatala descended upon. You understand?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this stuff is in the iconography Obatala stands on okay. He's an Obatala that he's not initiated. He's just received with Obatala. He's the constant companion because Obatala stands on this mountain, right? They talk about Obatala, and geologically he represents the mountain and the snow that collects at the top of the mountain, because that snow is coming straight from the sky, and it collects at the top of the mountain. So he represents that. Now, the river is born through that. The Nile River is born from the mountains in the middle of Africa. The snow, when that snow melts and it runs down the mountain, it picks up minerals. It ends up at the bottom in the crevices of the earth. That rivers are not aquatic, but they're really earth. They're associated to the earth because rivers carry minerals, right? So Oshun is described as a water deity, but more importantly as an earth deity. Because the river only goes the way that the grooves of the earth have opened up.
Opened up for it to go.
Right. So even in astrology, they talk about that. If you're an earth sign and you meet a water sign, the earth sign will give the water sign direction.
Right.
Do you understand? Okay.
All back to the iconography.
Iconography. So now this river comes down in the center of the rainforest and runs south. But what we know is north. Into what is the Nile. Right? Into the Nile Valley. Right? So those people didn't start in that desert. They did, but not the people. The deities started in the desert and told them, come on back so we can show you how the sky looks, because in the rainforest you can't see the sky. It's a triple canopy. They can't see the stars.
Because of the trees and everything.
Exactly.
Right.
It's always dark.
Right.
Right? So you gotta go where the sky is open. Right? To the summit so that you can see the stars and you can track them. So we can give you some more information.
And these pyramids became a reference for
them to necessarily speak to the sky. They're portals.
And lined up perfectly.
Yeah. They're portals. They are portals so that the deities they can receive the ethereal information from the deities. Because the pyramid is nothing more than a circle within a circle within a circle within a circle within a circle, which if you did that, you would build up a pyramid. If you put a circle and then put another circle inside of it, but that was as plates. So you got a large plate, then you put the next size plate, and you start to stack, you have a pyramid. Right. That's a portal. We still practice these traditions. But the people who speak so much about our traditions are not people who've been initiated in our traditions. They've never pledged allegiance to any of this. So how did you know any of this by reading a book? None of the book will tell you step by step what to do, but it's not telling you what's happening.
And why it's happening.
Exactly. So now the self-proclaimed teachers want to necessarily put themselves as everything is in your mind. Well, if that's the case, then just sit in your house and meditate. You ain't got to do nothing. What are you talking about? It's all in your mind. In your mind. That's bullshit. You have to interact. You have to necessarily trek through this gauntlet or through this labyrinth, which is called life. So I did something on Instagram the other day. I was like, yo, people are funny. They funny. So I put up this post. I'm like, yo, everybody talking this New Year's Eve thing. And I'm like, it's just a bell ringing for me. Because I'm in a 40-round bout with Jack Johnson. And every year they go, New Year's, bing, oh shit, I made it. I sit down on the thing, they put the water on me, and then they ring the bell, bing, you gotta go back in there. Now I gotta go back in there and fight Jack Johnson for another 365 days. Right? So don't tell me no fucking Happy New Year. What you talking about? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I'm in a fight right now.
I'm in a fight, nigga.
Right?
Exactly.
And so, but I understand that. I'm not complaining about it. And so what happens, people was like, oh, you okay? I'm like, what do you mean am I okay? Because they didn't read the bottom of the thing, the post. I said, I'm in a 40-round bout in life. And in this life, you can't play the rope-a-dope or your brain will get scrambled like eggs. But you can't throw in the towel. Right? And it shows you how the attention to people. They
read the first piece.
They saw the video, but they didn't read the comment at the bottom. Right, which sums up everything that I'm talking about. I'm gonna give you a reference. This is the narrative right here. But their attention span is so big. They take it and go take some shit, and you gotta put it down, and you gotta digest it for a minute. What's going on here? And a lot of these ceremonies that I've been through, when I was going through them, I didn't know what the hell that shit was for. Like I said, I used to be like, a violento, Oshun, get the fuck out of here with that European shit. I had to come to understand because my first mind, I don't understand what are the variables in this equation. I don't get it. But now I understand because I've taken the time to meditate. I've had older people to ask questions.
Eldership.
You understand? So even in hip hop, they'd be like, "Oh, the old timers." No, the kids need to understand. They don't have a concept of understanding that this music at one point was very sacred to us. We waited on Friday and Saturday to listen to this music and tape that shit.
That's right. That's right.
They got that shit. That shit, they're inundated with that shit. It's always on the radio. I remember.
That's right.
If during the middle of the day on Kiss, if they played one of them hip hop songs that was just too much that they had to play it,
You lost your mind.
you was like, oh, and your moms and them was looking at you. It's like that, and that's the way it is, right? And so Saturday and Friday, you put your tape in and you fall asleep and you wake up and you listen to the tape to the part that you didn't hear.
That's right. Mr. Magic.
Mr. Magic, Red Alert,
Red Alert.
right?
Chuck Chill Out. Absolutely.
And so, if they don't
Awesome
talk to the
too.
elders, it's not just about getting to the bag. What if there's a snake in that bag?
Yep.
What if there's a dye pack in that bag? You trying to get to the bag? Yeah, okay, you get to the bag and get out the bag. When you get out the bag, that shit blow up on you. Now you got ink all over you.
Right.
Right? What's in the bag? So don't tell me, oh, because you hating because we get money. I don't give a fuck about your money. Fuck your money. That shit don't do nothing. Right now, I go to Cuba and that shit don't mean nothing. That shit, matter of fact, you lose money with the American dollar when you go to Cuba. Real talk. You give $100, you get 75 back. Facts? So your money don't mean shit to me. In a seventh world country, your money means shit. I wipe my ass with that shit. Right? So fuck your money. But what is it that do you understand the responsibility that you have? Right? Because now, okay, you doing it for the money, so now I'm gonna hold you to another standard. What have you done with that money?
With that money.
Did you get your mama out of the projects? Did you get your aunt? Did you get your grandmoms? Did you buy your grandmother better health care? Tell me about no fucking bag. Fuck that bag. You understand? That money don't mean shit. So right now, I give you an example. One of my godsons, he's real big right now. He on the Bitcoin shit. So the other day he was looking at one of the ICOs. It's like an IPO for the Bitcoin.
But it's an ICO,
Right.
right?
And on it, when you buy into this ICO, it says some slick shit about how the disclaimer is, my nigga, if the act of God happens or if we go to war, you don't get that money back. Now why the fuck would they say that?
Interesting.
Because they preparing you.
For war, nigga.
Real shit. They preparing you, right? So now let's go back to what is it that they feeding you. So I'm gonna tell you, everybody talking about this mark of the beast shit, and they talking about they're gonna put a chip in it. They ain't gonna put a chip in it. They're gonna put a tattoo on you. Because they got nanogenics, right? They got tiny little microscopic motherfucking robots that when they put that shit into an ink, they're gonna tattoo your shit onto you. And that tattoo is gonna have your cryptocurrency numbers in it. And they're gonna put a light on it. And so there's not gonna be an exchange anymore. You're just gonna go into the store and pick up the stuff that you need. When you pass out, it's gonna be like Easy Pass. It's gonna take a picture of your number.
I can believe that.
Okay?
The way that shit is going now, because they opened up some supermarkets recently that have no people in it.
They don't need to.
They got it on your phone right now, where you just pick up your shit.
Amazon
And
is
you
about
just
to do that.
say it again.
Amazon is trying to do that.
Amazon is trying to do it, so they leading that way.
But what I'm saying is, so a chip, oh, it's a chip. But if they tell you we're gonna give you a tattoo, all the kids is tatted up already. So that's an easy way for them to incorporate what they trying to do.
Into what it is going on. Yes.
So you get the tat and you ain't gotta exchange, you ain't gotta buy nothing, you just walk through the store and it take a flash and it takes your fucking crypto number and it take it out your account. So that eventually the police gonna have glasses that they're gonna ride up and they're gonna know whether or not you in the red. They're gonna come and pick you up because you stole some shit last week. Or you didn't pay your rent. You understand? Real talk.
Yep.
Niggas paying attention, you chasing that bag and them niggas is on the cryptocurrency.
Yes.
That Bitcoin shit is going ham right now.
Yep.
Okay? And they trying to figure out how to regulate it. That just the other day, Texas said they got a cease and desist on certain, I think it was one of them Bitcoin currencies, they ceased and desisted. They said that you can't use that shit in that state. Right? So Texas did it, and so now these other states are going to start following until they get a hold of it and regulate it.
And be able to regulate it and do what they want to do with it. Right.
And so you looking for that cash, and that cash don't mean nothing. That shit is blue. The $100 bill is blue right now. And so iconically, what does that mean? Because you go, if anybody that's ever traveled outside of the country, when you go outside of the country, the money got colors on it.
Yeah, sure does.
Right? We're the only ones that had greenbacks. And Lincoln said he said the greenback is to ensure that the American people are still in control of the money. So when they stop using greenbacks, so that means that your dollar bill is the equivalent of that $100.
So now you got bluebacks, basically.
Exactly. Bluebacks, pinkbacks, yellowbacks, right? Because that money don't mean nothing because they're about the Federal Reserve said they're not going to print no more money. They're not printing no more money. They don't need to because they got to put that shit, like I said, they're going to have motherfuckers getting a tattoo somewhere on your body. And you never, because when I ride from Jersey into New York, I gotta be careful that I got a fucking Easy Pass, or else you get that shit in the mail. And so now you don't take care of that shit before you know it. These niggas taking your car.
Right. Yep.
Right? Because they have stopped the exchange. So if I got the cash in my money pocket, don't even matter because I can't use it.
Can't use it.
You feel me?
And you got 10 days for that Easy Pass shit, because the shit is $150.
After that, and right, and so, but they send it to you after, at the last couple of days.
They send it to you after the 10 fucking
Exactly. So now, and so my people's like, yo, don't pay the
$200. Like, what the fuck?
They said don't pay the fine. They said just pay the thing because if you came into the city and you didn't know, I can have money to pay the toll, but y'all niggas ain't got no toll.
Then they tell you, listen, well, if you had an Easy Pass,
they force you into that shit.
You know what I mean? You get a break.
And now we can track you.
Now we can track you.
Now I know where you was at 12 o'clock on Sunday. You was over here, right?
Yeah.
And so now soon the car is going to be, the Easy Pass is going to be built into the car. When you lease or you purchase the car, it's going to be a part of the car. Because I just had a rental, and the rental, I was like, yo, I went to go stop to pay the toll, and that shit was like, go Easy Pass. And I was like, oh shit. So now, part of the rental agreement is that they're paying for the Easy Pass for you. The shit is built into the car, so they know where you was at with that car.
Right. Know how fast you was going too.
How fast, exactly. So now they be like, nah, we don't want to rent you the car because you be doing 70 and 60 all the time.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, the iconography, they are giving us icons right now that are not productive to our psychology and our children's psychology, right? The other thing that I want to address, this is real important. The conscious community has to stop with the Ashe shit. I know I sound redundant about that shit, but you cannot say that. First of all, it's incorrect. When y'all calling out dead people, that's not the word that we use. And I'm not going to give y'all the word so that y'all can use it and take it away. I'm not fitting to do that. But it ain't Ashe. Okay? That's the first thing. Now, everything has Ashe in it, but once you are initiated, your Ashe has been activated, and then you therefore give it or take it. So if you ain't been initiated, you ain't got no Ashe. So you can't say Ashe. Stop.
Okay. Victim.
Okay?
Guilty.
You don't have it. One makes the initiation for the Ashe. It's like a computer program. You pass through that door, and them niggas, they turn your Ashe on, and now you go through life learning how to use it. Right? So when I hear the folks, they did like, hey, Malcolm X, Ashe. That's not the word we use to lift our dead. And so I'm not going to give it to people because this is not something that you get to use at your convenience.
Got you.
You know, there are people who die for this. You know, I'm in Cuba and they giving me this information because they know that I'm trying to keep it safe. It ain't for me to commercialize or be like bastardized.
Like water down and...
Yeah. This is not your
trendy
word for signification. Ashe. Ashe what? You ain't got none. You ain't spent 372 days in white. You didn't sit on the floor and eat. You didn't give up your vanity. You don't have the right to use my stuff. And I'm gonna say that because I don't go on none of these platforms. You know, never hear me talking to Salam Alaikum. I ain't talking no Masonic shit. I ain't talking none of that because I didn't pledge allegiance to none of that. And so it is a disservice as black people because there is something that you have to necessarily strive for to be able to use that word.
Understood.
You understand? And so I'm not telling everybody that they gotta run and get involved in this. What I am telling them is that spiritualism is the key to all of this. It is the cure to our community, because spiritualism will not force you to abandon your parents or your great grandparents' customs. It don't force you to do that, right? Spiritualism actually tells you to incorporate that. Whatever teachings you've been taught throughout from different chambers, it's telling you to incorporate that within your system, in your routine, right? So black people need spiritualism because spiritualism is kindergarten for people who have not been able to acknowledge spirit. Okay? You don't even know what the hell you're looking at. Now, there's some people that are born with the gift. They see spirits, they talk with them, but not everybody. Right? And so it's school. I was just in Cuba, and the old timer told me it was school. He was like, yo, spiritualism is school to get to this. Right? Because if you've been in the church and all that, understand, I don't care how much all of this resonates with you. The first time you come to a ceremony and we start killing chickens, you're going to feel the way. You're going to feel the way. This is why these niggas be running around here talking about, oh, well, the Orishas have gone to a higher level. And shut up. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. Because you don't even understand what the mechanics is of the sacrifice because nobody told you because they didn't write that in a book. Right? And so you can't tell me what it is and how it's not relevant anymore when you don't know what it is. So you can't tell me, oh, the Orishas don't need blood anymore and that was prehistoric. Shut up. Shut the fuck up because you ain't never cut up no chicken before. If you've never held something and had it die in your arms and feel the energy of it leave, then you will respect that animal. See, we don't just be killing chickens and throwing them shits in the garbage. This shit is very sacred to us. Before we ever sacrifice any chicken, the beak of the chicken is washed off, his feet are washed, the feathers are washed off, right? You don't, when the sacrifice, like Joe in the volcano, they don't put Joe in a dirty room. That nigga's the king for the day. You want some pussy? Oh, damn, knock him out. Right, you hungry? What you like to eat? And put this on and we're gonna dance and we're gonna entertain you, cause you going in the volcano, my nigga.
Alright?
You feel me? You got any last wishes? Okay. So we do the same thing with the animals. So it's not like we just killing them shits and this is just some shit that we maintain because it's part of the tradition. Because I be listening to these bozos. I check these niggas out. But hey, what's this nigga talking about? Get the fuck out of here. Because one of my godsons, I brought him to Cuba with me recently. And, you know, he pro-black is my guy. And I told him, I said, listen, Mio, listen. This ain't like nothing you ever been to before in your life.
Right.
Okay? He's like, no, but you know, I've been to Africa. I was like, yeah, I understand, but this ain't Africa, my nigga. These niggas live in a different dimension. He was like, all right. 2 days in, he was like, yo, well, you know, this shit I ain't never seen no shit like this before. I'm like, I'm trying to tell you. He's like, yo, this shit feel like fucking, these niggas is more blacker than when I was in Mozambique. Now, there's a bunch of mestizo motherfuckers walking around, sure. Like every place. It's like the Bronx.
Right.
You understand? But these niggas is African. Don't get it fucked up. That I had a conversation with a woman that was like, I don't understand what Latina is. She was like, I ain't no Latina. I don't speak Latin. That's what she said. And y'all niggas get back at me with that one. All the niggas that's Latino, tell me, because I ain't never seen none of y'all niggas speak no fucking Latin. So we stop that shit right there. You describe yourself as a language that you don't speak, whatever. Right? And so he was like, yo, this shit ain't nothing like I ever seen. So in the ceremony, because I was initiating somebody, so it was a lot of animals being sacrificed, that was going to be food for Zamal.
Right.
And he proceeded to watch these dudes dissect this goat like a surgeon. And that's where he stood. I was like, man, stand right here and watch these dudes. That he understood that there was ritual with that. They wasn't just cutting it up and being by money. There were certain parts that they had to take care of, certain parts that they had to procure, and then there's certain rituals that they played out in the dissection of the animal because it's still sacred. Because we're about to eat that shit. So kosher like a motherfucker. I don't know what you're talking about. Because you niggas talk that kosher shit, but the iman is in the back. You ain't see him kill that shit. I seen these niggas kill that animal.
Right.
I seen it when it was shitting.
This is kosher like a motherfucker.
Absolutely. And I seen a motherfucker say some shit to the bird and put the bird down and the bird lay down. Okay?
Remember the movie Avatar? When she ran up on that animal and she said, you know what this is. This ain't, I'm only doing this for our survival or whatever the case may be. And nigga just lay down like, yo, I get it.
No, but we revere our animals. There's prayers that today's Santeros are not that familiar with, but there's prayers that talk about when the rooster is in front of the Orisha, that I say a prayer to him and I ask the rooster, I said, listen, You're in the land of tragedy. This existence that you're in, this is a tragedy. So I'm going to take some feathers from the left, from your right, from your chest, from the back, from your head. I'm going to take the blood and I'm going to take the meat. But your soul, you get to keep that. And you get to take that to heaven with you. And I hope that in your next incarnation that you come back as something on an elevated scale. Right? So I have now freed this existence that was stuck in this mundane existence. Because I don't give a fuck what you tell me. A chicken's life is mundane.
True.
The chicken ain't sitting in no part of no forest running shit where you walking in, oh, the west, be careful of the roosters. No, my nigga. Like, that shit don't happen.
These niggas is food.
Yeah, exactly. Them niggas is, oh shit, right? And so to come back and to reincarnate in that level of existence, you would want that life to go by fast so that you could get to the next one.
Right.
And so your existence in that is to hope that you're a rooster with pretty feathers, that you get my attention, that
Immediately,
I pick you.
I pick you out of this.
Because I'm taking you out of jail, homie. These niggas, they're going to eat you anyway, but I'm going to pray for you.
Right.
Right? Okay.
Facts.
And so everybody want to get into this, but they don't want to do the work. Because I tell you, you come to one of these ceremonies, that shit look Charles Manson-ish. There's a nigga holding the goat and he got a bunch of blood on him. He look like he been in the slaughterhouse. There's other people, they're plucking chickens. They get dirty. But people, they don't want to do that. Right? Because they're used to a very manicured life.
So they just want to say some shit and think some shit's gonna happen.
Of course, they just, everything is in my mind and the positive mind and all that bullshit. No, motherfucker, you are in this dimension and
this shit is gonna pop in this
my
dimension.
nigga, if you don't get it together,
Because if that's the matter, if it's all in your mind, never eat, never drink.
don't do
again.
nothing.
Don't do
like
nothing.
I said, just sit in your room and you can have the best life. That should be like virtual something.
If it's all in your mind.
This is my point. Oh, when you don't look this way and things are doing it, that's fine. But you can't prove it. That's the whole conversation of when a tree falls in the fucking in the forest, does it make a sound? Even if you left the recorder there, there's something there. But if you don't have it there, you don't know if it made a sound. You understand? And these are certain mysteries that we have to come to accept, that we're not gonna get to know everything. Because that's the other part. They want to be master teachers and they want to learn everything, but they want everything to be exposed to them, right? I don't want to necessarily have the mystery of God presented to me. Well, what the fuck you gonna do with it? Because you motherfuckers don't even help the nigga on the corner asking you for change. So what the fuck you gonna do with that information? Or the other one is, oh, if the Orishas are so great, why haven't they liberated us from this fucking existence? First of all, the shit only been here 60 years. You niggas ain't get no parts of it yet. Let's start with that. Right? And what are you gonna do? Because every fucking story in every Bible, Quran and all that talked about the people picking up their fucking weapons and fighting.
And getting it in.
Right. Because that is a part of life. Right? God, if that's the case, then the fucking rooster would grow fucking fangs and he'll eat the goddamn wolf when the nigga roll up on him. But that's not what happened to him. So he's a victim and he's subject to the laws of the land, and whoever's bigger than him gonna eat him.
That's right.
Right? And so until he decides to come up with something where he'd be like, you know what, I had enough of this shit.
If I keep you bitch ass nigga, I'm gonna take your lunch money every day, nigga.
You better get a knife.
You better get a knife.
You better get a knife. You better
At some point, you gotta be like, you know what, this nigga keep running up on me.
I got to fight him.
I gotta fight this shit.
Or you gonna see him at the fucking the school reunion 30 years later, and gonna be like, yo, my nigga, that's your wife? And he gonna squeeze her on the ass.
Yep. Yeah, you know what it is, nigga. Don't act. You was a bitch back then, you a bitch ass nigga now.
Yes. And so, you know, everybody, but that's that altruistic mentality. Everybody wanted this shit to be cupcakes and rainbows. They want to skip down the block and have rainbows come out their ass. I'm like, oh, and I was doing my meditation. Make it the fuck out of here. There's a story that says that one time the people asked the room a lot, they was like, yo, we fucked up, we ain't got no food. So they was like, all right. So they made sacrifices for them. And it rained money. It rained food. And they said, okay, well, we ain't got no money. So he said, all right, and did sacrifice and it rained money. So because he's wise, he decided, you know what? I'm make another sacrifice for them. And he made it rain iron. The people came outside the house, they looked at the iron. I don't know what the fuck to do with that. And went back in the crib. Well, a couple of days later, the marauders came and took everybody's shit. And one of the survivors seen a rumor line, was like, yo, my nigga, what was all that? Like, we got the money and the food. He said, yeah, but when I made it rain metal, you left that shit in the streets.
You ain't niggas that make no weapons.
Exactly. I left that there for y'all to protect yourselves. You feel me? And so you can't imagine and think in your mind that God just gonna make this shit easy for you, because then there wouldn't be no life.
And what would be the purpose of it?
Exactly. And so with the iconography, you know, it is important that we maintain some type of understanding and move forward with what kind of things that we're going to present in our culture. If big booty bitches dancing on a pole and popping champagne is how we want to come into the next millennium, how can we expect to go anywhere further?
Right.
You understand? I'm yet to see any one of these rapping niggas do a fucking video in a library. I've yet to see that. Schomburg is open, that he could go in there anytime he want. Hold some shit down there. Get these kids back to reading, because the internet ain't enough.
No, the internet is shutting down reading.
Well, the internet
niggas is just doing memes and watching pictures.
Well, not even that. They're talking about, they just made some kind of a regulation where if you're a company, you get more access to the algorithms than the average person.
Is that the net neutrality shit?
Yeah, man. So they doing that because motherfuckers are becoming rich and famous off the fucking social media shit.
Right.
And so now they gotta control it. And so we gotta be very careful about what we present. Like you said, the brothers that's in there arguing and doing all of that, do whatever y'all gonna do. But it gotta be some type of resolution. It gotta be something tangible, because we don't have nothing tangible. Black Panthers is over with.
Yeah.
They, you know what I'm saying? Only thing they brought us was free school lunch.
Free lunch.
And that shit is might be gone in a second.
Yeah, and that's it.
We don't have any institutions besides the Schomburg. Then there's some other little grassroots shit around, absolutely. But I'm talking about
on a grand scale. I understand.
Exactly, so that you could go to a university and receive some type of certificate that was not funded by white faces.
So tell me about the book, before we close out this segment, about the book you're working on, its importance. And we'll be back here. I want to make that clear, because I can just tell we're scratching the surface. Before you turn off, I want you to pan through. You know what I mean? So we can get the people the whole panoramic view of what's going on inside this sacred place. I know I didn't have to say that to you, because you're good at what you do. But I'm just saying in general. So what's this book about? Have you titled it yet, or will?
Yeah, I'll put the title out, because I gotta watch these dudes. They be running to the fax machine.
Yeah.
And my book will be out with the title and all kinds of stuff. I'm writing a book on spiritualism. Its application to assist those black people who are not in a very culturally rich environment. So that the brothers that are in Kansas and all of those places in the Midwest that are detached from a strong black cultural society, right? So that they have a tutorial of how they can start to build up their spiritual gifts and abilities, right? I'm talking about the practicality of it. I'm talking about the necessity for black Americans. So there's a rift going on right now between what is the Lukumi side of people who practice these traditions and what is considered the traditional side, those people that have gone and gotten their initiations from Africa. I don't agree with going to Africa, but I'm not gonna put anybody down that went there. But I have to. It is important that I explain not the detriments, but the pitfalls of that direction. Now, there's going to be people that are going to take it personal because they are personally invested in that. Okay, but I'm going to give them specific things that they got to figure out for themselves. And the first thing is that in Africa, fortunately for them, their bloodline, when they cut themselves, they bleed Yoruba. And so they know who their forefathers are. As people from the diaspora, we are an amalgamation of different genes and blood, customs and cultures. So all of this stuff is based on the concept of ancestral worship. right? None of this stuff works without ancestral worship. So the problem is that you're going to a system that has not calibrated itself for your reality. Because Africa is a different place. When the sun is up there, the moon is up over here. We don't live on the same time. We're not the same. They live in a different reality. And the quicker we come to understand that, the more it makes sense. Now, when the person who of African American descent goes to Nigeria for initiations, when the time comes for them to profess their ancestors, those people over there are not going to recognize your ancestors. So how do you now appropriate them? You can't. And so you're essentially given a system with no instructions to the situation that you're in. So it's like me giving you a lawnmower and you live in Alaska and it's snowing. What do you do with that? There's no fucking lawn to mow, right? I need a snowblower, right? And so so what happens is the local me has made those alterations so that it can blow snow and cut the grass.
Okay.
You understand? And so people are gonna get upset. It's not that I have any hate, because I come from a very Pan-African background. My parents is all Pan-Africanists. My father was into all of that. But the reality is that Africa does not address our needs. Okay? So when you're going over there to acquire initiations, how do you now perform? Because there's no African temple here established. Now, you can say, well, they can create one over here, but why? Because them motherfuckers didn't give us nothing. We didn't receive the information of this tradition by way of them. We received it by way of the Cuban paradigm, right? Which is closer to our reality. So why would I now go to Nigeria to deal with somebody who doesn't understand my circumstances?
Yeah, but then those will say, well, we came over on ships and...
Right, but you came over in ships, and so now you're negating those people who died to maintain the tradition so that you can have it today by way of a Cuban paradigm. Right? Now, there's other situations that go into political factors that I'm not going to get into without those people having the means to defend themselves. Right? Okay. But there's other stuff that goes in, that's involved in it politically, that you can't tell me that you're going to go to Nigeria and acquire these initiations and it's going to work here. It's not possible, because the things that it takes to procure those Orisha here, we don't have those readily. Those herbs are not here. Those fruits are not here. None of those things are here. The Cuban paradigm addresses the fact that we have a system, a mechanism called spiritualism that allows us to tap into even our white ancestors, because they are still our ancestors, right? And so if I can tap into one of my white slave-owning ancestors and have him give up the ghost about how the motherfuckers are controlling us, then I'm doing better. You understand what I'm saying? I got I got a cheat code.
You better be careful saying that in front of these 2 minutes, in front of these conscious people.
Nah, I don't care what I say in front of them, because at the end of the day, I'm the dude. I'm out here putting it in. I'm out here putting it in. I ain't gotta open up no nursery or no classes. I'm the dude doing it. I'm going back and forth.
Ground.
Yeah, I'm on the ground. I'm out here going back and forth to Cuba. Nobody taught me Spanish. You know what I'm saying? I learned that shit autocratically from listening to the people and using my mind. I never got a Spanish lesson in my life. Feel me? And nobody taught it to me. I went over there and I got with them people and I understood. You feel me? I took the time to sit with those old people and learn and grasp and obtain some of these ceremonies and these understandings so that I could articulate it today. Right? So I don't care what the conscious niggas is talking about. I don't sell no Afro sheen and none of that shit, my dude. I'm doing this shit straight like that. I'm gonna do this till the day I die. Whether y'all niggas is conscious, whether y'all make a new flag, whatever the situation, I'ma still be doing this. Cause I swore an allegiance. I pledged an allegiance to this. You feel me? My moms did, my grandmother did, my uncles did, my cousins did, my friends. No disrespect, but the conscious elders are not my elders. Because I don't see them in ceremony. My elders are the people that was in ceremony, that's getting possessed, that's playing the drums, that's dancing, that's divine, that's cooking the food, that are hiding their beads for the last 30 years because it wasn't cool to do none of this. Those are my elders. You feel me?
And with that being said, It's a Black Dot with Brother Obar. We here. We gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? So tune in to what we got coming next.
Absolutely, Doc. You know how
Peace
we
to the
do.
king.
You already know.
You already know what it is.
Like cook food. You feel me?
Subscribe, do all that shit that Malcolm be telling me I be forgetting. Subscribe, hit the bell, whatever. So it is what it is. Peace.
Legend.